Hey, what's up there, people from the internet watching the video through a screen on the YouTube? Hey guys, how you going? Welcome to this video. We're here in the cube. Again, back in the bedroom style format with the red light and the blue light. We've got the balance, we've got the two pillars, we've got the double equation, the Hegelian dialect, red versus blue, good versus evil. We've got it all here today, folks. Making another video for your entertainment and enlightenment and information, and just to occupy some time to fill in the space, to fill in the void in your heart, because you can't face life with it. I want to talk about rejuvenation, restoration, recovery. Recovery is what I want to talk about. Last video, 2 videos ago, 3, 4, 5 videos ago, super pumped, super excited, had a rad conversation with my friend Loglan. We got super pumped and excited. Fucking high energy, high confidence, boom, 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 direct, know what's going on, bringing up all this awesome truth from within. Next couple of days, gotta balance it out, man. Got a bit of a low vibe. We got the other end of the spectrum. We go up, we gotta come down. It's okay, it's how it goes. You gotta just hold on to the reins and let it be, and just go with it, let it happen, and you'll come through the other side. And we're slowly coming back up again, it feels like. Yesterday though, I skateboarded. And it was like the 5th day in a row that I was going out for a skate. So I thought, I'm going to just take it easy, not skate too hard. I probably shouldn't skate, just to recover a bit. But I'll just take a chilled, easy skate. But I got caught up in the moment trying to land a nice backside 180. And I flipped the board a little bit and had a dodgy landing. And the board flipped up and smashed me in the ankle. And bruised it, and it's sore. Yesterday it was real sore. This morning it was real sore. But we went for 2 walks in the morning and afternoon today. And just ate lots of good fruit yesterday and today. And vegetables and sugar, and I feel great. Like tomorrow I'm going to wake up feeling so fresh, and I just want to say I'm so grateful, so thankful that I don't eat dead animals or milk, coffee, cannabis, cigarettes anymore, because my body recovers so damn fucking quickly. From an injury yesterday, I'm going to be fucking fine tomorrow and like totally heal in like 3 days. I cannot even believe it. It's fucking magical. Last night I put a bit of coconut oil on it for a bit of like a placebo mental effect, so I can know for sure, yeah, it's definitely going to heal now, for sure. Like, you got to do something a little bit. It's difficult to just cling to the idea that it's going to work unless you use some kind of token to really convince yourself that it's actually going to definitely heal. Coconut oil works well, and it probably has some actual healing benefits. Who knows, really? I don't know. It works good on your teeth. You can... Coconut oil is very good on that. Yes. Jesus. Like those worms from Sesame Street, Oscar's friends. They go to space. I remember the space worms. They go to space one time. Funny. In the cube. Anyway, so recovery. It's very, very, very important to allow time to recover, to restore, to regenerate, to hibernate, to get the low end of the spectrum of healing. It's not even low. It's blue and red. It's not red is good, blue is evil. Good and evil is this human conception of morality, and it's not really based in reality. That's the colouring we apply to the base principles of existence. You have positive and negative, but that doesn't mean good and bad. That just means pulse and no pulse, or pulse and anti-pulse. You have spatial and counter-spatial. It's polarized, but only because of our understanding is probably polar in nature. But I think also polarization exists because you have to have 2 points, 2 poles to have movement. Otherwise you have only one entity and it cannot move. It can only be whole and entire. So the division and the polarity is what allows for the motion and the time and whatnot, maybe, perhaps, I don't know. Somebody commented on one of my videos that Stephen Hawking perhaps being a hoax. Some very good points. Like, I was sort of half joking, but sort of thinking maybe, because I'd never thought it before, maybe we could think more in depth about this Stephen Hawking thing. They came up with some really good stuff. People who typically have the same thing that he's got die within 4 or 5 years, but he's survived for like 40. And he supposedly can do all these things with his cheek muscle. It seems very far-fetched when I actually think about it, or when someone else actually thinks about it and gives me a little bit of information, and then I just go with it. What are you going to do? And they said, tell everyone about CERN. That's what you should be concerned about, or I said concerned. It doesn't matter who said what. Talking about CERN now. And CERN, if you don't know, is the Centre for Everything, whatever, It's a science place in Switzerland, in Geneva, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not certain. I could research it first and then give you a really awesome factual scientific video to watch that's going to convince you with points of evidence, but I'm not into that, really. I've tried it before and I just get bored during the process. What I'm into is opening up and letting what comes out come out, and if it helps you, if it changes your mind a little bit, if it helps you to think something, if it inspires you, encourages you, makes you think, makes you question, even makes you smile or shit your pants, anything, then I'm pleased. Even if it doesn't, I'm pleased, because it's the process that I enjoy of verbally just exploding and expelling and expunging. I don't know. So CERN has a facility with a Shiva statue at the front. And Shiva is the destroyer of worlds. Shiva is a deity from one of the Eastern Hindu, I think, India-based. I don't really know. You have Shakti and you have Shiva, and they represent creation and destruction. So CERN has a statue to this something. You should research, check it out. There are connections about everything to everything, whatever. Check it out, Shiva at CERN. And at CERN they have this thing called the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider. I actually know what that stands for. And it's an enormous circle magnetic laser array thing, and they shoot particles into each other, little light particles, little beams of light. They smash them into each other. They're trying to recreate a Big Bang, apparently. What it is hypothesized they're actually trying to do is to tear a hole in dimensions and to join dimensions together, to take one dimension here in its infinite time continuum, whatever, and another one, and join them together in the middle, so have a piercing, so they can bring entities from other dimensions into this dimension, and who knows what with that, and who knows what they're really trying to do. But I'll go with this saying that someone used to say in my mind, they still exist saying it, and that's that you take this as a beautiful example, right? Life is like a beautiful tapestry, beautiful artwork, and all of the people, all the painting, all of the figures in the painting just getting about in the parks, like having picnics by the river, looking at beautiful rabbits and flowers, and there's a painter painting another painting within a painting. It's really trippy, and there's beautiful trees and boats and houses and gardens. But then you've got some people like looking, it seems like they're looking outside of the picture, but they could just be looking at the fourth wall that you can't see from your vantage point looking at this painting, but it really looks like they're trying to see outside of the dimension that they're living, outside of the tapestry that they're living in. And so the analogy goes like this. They see the edge and they see something and they start to try and pick at the tapestry to find out what it is that they are existing in. And they don't stop there, they keep picking and they find out what the components are and what's actually going on with where they're existing, how they are and who they are and what's happening at the time in which they exist, what is life actually is. And they start picking at the painting and pulling strands out, and then they start to try and fuck shit up and move things around and use their newfound intelligent knowledge and understanding of the tapestry to their advantage and to their advancement and to their ascension. And the idea is that this kind of attitude, this kind of behavior, is stepping out of life and away from life and towards destruction and death. And so, there are people who believe, and there is evidence to support the idea, or coincidences, we'll say coincidence, we'll give the benefit of the doubt to the people who would dismiss such things and say there are all these coincidences that point in the direction of sinister motives aiming to wreak havoc and bring forth evil. Yes. Media, very, very common, very widespread themes, intertwined and embedded is the word to use, in hundreds, if not dozens of medias from different companies, like car advertisements, movies, magazine pictures, like everywhere. Have a look on Google, type in what's going on at CERN, what is really happening with CERN, the Large Hadron Collider. Check it out if you're into it. If you're not into it, if you're into coincidences, if you know that nothing in life is really a coincidence and that everything is connected, like the tapestry is not, it's not pixels that are not connected to their neighbours and are divided by black borders, and they are each one pixel and not like that's that pixel, that's that pixel, that's that pixel. What's that called? Separate iterations. There's a word for it. It's not important to remember the exact word. The tapestry is interwoven, strings, man. Everything is connected, and it's been repeated so many times, but not understood and not taken into consideration on a daily level by so many people, that we have everybody just say coincidence, because they can't be bothered to escape complacency. They don't want to think about things that are challenging their worldview, because that means they're going to have to think about it to the point where they're going to have to arrive at the idea that they're going to have to actually act according to how they now feel about what they've thought about. And it's a long journey to get to that point. It really is. And for me, it led to veganism. What can I actually do? Well, I can try to talk to people about it, and I can stop eating animals so that my body is in a better state of being, and I'm not contributing to pain, suffering, and torture in the animal agriculture industry. And so if you are on that same journey, in that same kind of pathway, everyone's journey is different, obviously. Everyone's place in the painting is unique and for them. But if you've also happened across these coincidental things, then consider veganism as a way to have tangible, accessible change in your life. And by all means, keep with the investigative aspect. I've really dropped off in that arena because too much opposition, too many, and without being able to completely, yes, veganism is easier, really, basically. While I still hold the ideas that I try not to hold any ideas. Fuck it, I can't. I'm trying to say things, right? You can tell I'm trying to say a certain thing, but it's not really working well. Which means, obviously, it's not really reverberating perfectly with who I actually am, or what I'm actually, or whatever. It's not actually resonating properly with me. Therefore, it doesn't need to be said. It doesn't actually need to be expressed at this point in time. So this video is now 12 minutes and 34 seconds long, and at the 12 minutes 40 mark it's going to end. So thanks for watching, I appreciate it. Click subscribe.